the moment has arrived. The Italians and the Irish have had to watch all the games this weekend. Now they finally get their turn on this blazing hot Sunday afternoon here in far north Queensland. We are not too far away from the kickoff. Joining me in commentary, a man who played 11 tests for the Kangaroos, and he's actually part of the Italian staff this week, Andrew Ryan. Hello to you.
Yeah, great to be here, Dan. How exciting is it here this afternoon? The colours you look out here, both these sides, some young guys looking for an opportunity. Fantastic game.
Important late change. Terry Campese, he didn't participate yesterday in the captain's run, and obviously that calf didn't recover in time.
Yeah, as we heard from Cameron Serrato, Ryan Getty gets his opportunity to start at halfback. He's played plenty of there before, so he'll do a really good job.
We would think the Italians will be the crowd favourites. There are 4 Northern Pride players part of this Azzurri squad. Let's go downstairs, and here are the festivities at Barlow Park.
Ladies and gentlemen, please be upstanding for the national anthems of Italy and Ireland.
We're just moments away. The Irish Wolfhounds, the Italian Azzurri. Nice crowd building here, Barlow Park in Cairns, the first of 2 games. A little later, it's Scotland versus Tonga. There's the Irish team. Plenty of Super League experience there. As Andrew Ryan, we look ahead to perhaps some of their better players, the Irish.
So many key players, number 9, Nicky McClorum and Scott Griggs at the back. They're the 2 key players here this afternoon for Ireland. They've got so much class in their forwards, some real performers in Super League this season, and they'll be right up for this contest this afternoon.
And the Irish, they're predominantly green jerseys. They have struggled with the heat a little. Obviously, major change for them. The Italian side, Andrew Ryan.
Again, so many key players in this side, but none more so than James Tedesco at the back. He's an absolute superstar. He's been a real strong performer for New South Wales and the West Tigers this season. And Nathan Brown, their lock forward here this afternoon. He's the leader of the pack out here, and he's a very classy player as well. Look for those 2 guys this afternoon.
So just after 2 o'clock local time, it's essentially the hottest part of the day as these 2 sides go through their final warm-ups. It has to be a factor this afternoon, Andrew Ryan, doesn't it? This intense heat.
It sure does, and we heard from the coach of Ireland, Mark Assam, before speak about the conditions. They've been up here for 2 weeks trying to acclimatise. But obviously for both teams out there this afternoon at 2 o'clock, it's the warmest part of the day. But they've been training in these conditions. But it's whoever can hang on to the ball here this afternoon. That's the key. The completion rate is so important.
They've taken different approaches, the Irish and the Italians. Italy had a pretty tough trial last week against Tonga, whereas Ireland have decided not to have a warm-up match. So we'll see if that will be of benefit to the Irish. And just moments away, we're about to get started here in Cairns. So it'll be the Italians to kick off, and a good toss for the Irish to win with a significant breeze straight down the ground. So the referee is just about ready. A face NRL fans will be familiar with. Grant Atkins is officiating. There he is, over 100 games of NRL experience. Here we go.
Stay back.
Slight delay, but we begin under a scorching sun in Cairns, and look at that wind already having an impact. And Ireland having a bit of work to do just to hold on to it there, as Pitharangi is first to get up here and play it for the Irish. A ground here at Barlow Park which runs more east-west than north-south. Here's an early penalty for Ireland. And the tempo being set by the referees. We haven't seen too many penalties blown in this World Cup to date, but there's an early marker laid down by Atkins.
Just go and get that treated, mate. Go out the back for us.
That is Michael Morgan, the Irish version, having the ball raked out there and getting a little bit of treatment. So the Irish have been here for just under 2 weeks. They have good World Cup pedigree. 2000 and 2008 they made the quarterfinals. The last World Cup, well, they were in the group of death and they couldn't get out of it. This time around, they're in Group C, Italy Group D. This is a crossover match, and one team from Group C and one team from Group D will progress. So it essentially makes these must-win games.
All right, Lamb.
It sure does, and a really disappointing result there. Obviously for the Italian side, giving away a penalty at such an early stage, and now the Irish go straight into attack mode.
Or using that breeze.
Halfway, boys.
They get a full attacking set here inside Irish territory. Well, we need a ball. A few teething problems here. We missed the countdown, and now we need something to play with.
Here it comes.
Here it comes now.
Hold that one, Lamb. Hold there. Hold.
The Italians last week played Tonga.
Let's wait for the kick.
And went down 16-6. It was a game where Tonga looked like blowing them out of the water.
Okay, straight up, Paul.
But the Italians held their nerve. The rain fell in Innisfail and ended up being a pretty decent quality trial. And this is Brad Singleton hitting it up. Grand final winner with the Leeds Rhinos. He plays it now to McIlaurin. Here's Kyler Moore, a veteran from St Helens. Ireland inside the 30. They go left. Comes across here from the captain, Finn. McCarthy Scarsbrook almost through. Nice tackle around the legs by Jack Johns, but he held on too long and pulled the leg.
Quick on the ruck, mate.
Early pressure here for the Italians.
This Irish side, their play the balls are super fast at the moment. It's something this Italian team need to address.
So George King now works it up with Ireland, enjoying all the ball in these early stages. McIlaurin to a Moore, coming back to the middle. 3 Italians there defending, including Alvaro and Vaughan. Now they go left. Here it comes to Finn, the double pump out to the fullback. And Liam Kay plants it down in the corner. What a start for Ireland. Italy haven't touched the ball, and Ireland out to a 4-0 lead. Well, just so simple, Andrew Ryan through the hands. Scott Griggs out to Liam Kay.
Scott Griggs showing his class out the back. He's a former half, and you could just see him get the ball out there. And the right centre, Castellaro over on that side, just got caught napping. And the winger in Mason Ceruto came in.
Liam Kay, part of the Toronto Wolfpack, scored 27 tries in 21 games. This is a step up in class, but that was a lovely put down. And the Italians still yet to touch the ball. This is Liam Finn, who'll do the goal kicking from the Wakefield club. About 83% this year, but he is dealing with a pretty stiff breeze going straight down the ground.
Time on.
Deliberately keeps it low and kicks it straight down the middle. What a perfect start for the Irish Wolfhounds. They've got the breeze at their back and they've taken an early advantage. 6 points to 0. Ireland on top here. And that is a devastating start for your Azzurri, Andrew Ryan.
They had plenty of numbers on the right edge there, the Italian side. But Ceruto just got caught coming in there. And this combination between Finn and Griggs, they play together week on week. They're very good. Have a look out for these guys all day today.
And they've played plenty of football as well, as the Irish bring it out here. A couple of penalties costing Italy in the lead up to that opening try. McIlaurin feeds it across to Singleton.
Come to this line here now.
They're past the 4-minute mark, and Italy still waiting for their first use. Kyler Moore, very busy to start this game. McIlaurin goes down the left side to explore. McCarthy Scarsbrook, St Helens back rower, is met by Alvaro. So the last tackle, and Finn puts it up, and Wynn's going to drag it back here. A little bit of work to do for Tedesco. Oh, we wanted no part of it. A little lucky with the bounce, but finally the Azzurri have the ball. There's now real pressure on here, and Ireland, they can taste the blood in the water as Castellaro goes nowhere. And now Mason Ceruto, the young Penrith player, is knocked over on his 10. So this is an early ambush as it comes out now to Mark Minicello. And still yet to crack their own 20-metre line. Paul Vaughan, what a wonderful year he had with St George Illawarra. Stands tall, but nice defence there from Oliver Roberts, not allowing Vaughan to get the ball away. So it's Italy kicking here, barely making it over halfway. And Liam Kay, the try scorer, on that halfway line. Let's go down to Ryan Girdler. What are the conditions like down there, Ryan?
Yeah, what a start for the Irish. Yeah, look, it's the ground's really firm, as you'd expect. There hasn't been rain in Cairns for over a week. And notice that they've just targeted that right edge defensively of the Italian side, which is Jack Johns. They're really going to aim their guns at him today, and he needs to be on his game.
Go 3.
So Ireland here, work it up the middle with King.
Nathan,
Nice simple stuff
back here. Hold. Go
to
4.
open this set. In the 5th play, it comes out to Singleton, the pass out the line. Finn to Pitharangi. Makes it just beyond the 20 as we get to the final play. And Finn with a chip kick here, and Jack Johns does well, but he's got work to do, and he can't get back into the field of play. But the Irish are offside. A much-needed reprieve for the team in blue.
What a fantastic start from this Irish side. Everything that their plan has come together, their energy around the ruck, their line speed. You can see that these guys have worked really hard. We heard from their coach pre-game and said they've had 9 sessions together. You can really just see everyone knows their role on the field at this stage.
Back here, hold.
Italy
Hold. Go.
running into that stiff breeze.
Go straight up now.
He's the first to hit it up here.
Hold.
From the Parramatta Eels and the NRL. Cole Wilkie, dummy half. Remember, there's no Terry Campese, a late reshuffle.
Move together.
Ryan Getty from the Northern Pride is playing halfback, and his Pride teammate Cole Wilkie in that dummy half role. He's Vaughan now.
3 now, Michael, straight up.
Roberts, Singleton.
Go 3.
He's now shifted left. Getty's passed it to Tedesco, but they're all over Tedesco in these early stages. Getty first receiver to Vaughan. Oh, an extravagant spin, then another one. Then the ball to Getty, but his pass put down Minicello. And the Irish, oh, they are full of beans. And get a scrum feed, only 10 short of halfway.
We could just see the first pass there from Paul Vaughan was a nice one, but Getty probably just need to take the tackle. Sometimes when you get in that offloading mode, everyone starts to get excited and to do it. But from the Italian point of view, they just need to get some completions, get 50-50 possession, because it's been all Ireland at this stage.
It must be difficult to try and study the opposition. You part of the Italian staff. There's not much video about. They certainly didn't play a warm-up game. So how do you actually try and work out your opposition?
Well, these guys are Super League players week on week, and you know their spine, they're classy characters, and obviously defensively today, this Italian side need to be good. And again, another penalty. They are just shooting themselves in the foot. In conditions like this, you cannot let teams out of their own area so easy.
Oh, a hell of a kick into touch here, and the Irish are going to start on the 20-metre line. Looking for their second try. Well, that's a wayward pass, but Amor is there to clean it up.
Back here, hold, Paul. Just play it, mate. Hold, go 1.
Already given away 3 penalties, the Italians. Here's Finn dishing off for Singleton. This is a clunky start to this set.
Hold, hold. Go 2.
Finn. Pitharangi. Now on to Roberts. Claims of a possible high tackle there. Minicello involved in the tackle, and Wilkie. McElroy. Finn. Back to a flat-footed Singleton. Oh, the big don't argue on Minicello. Nice tackle down low by Getty.
1 foot.
Couple of tackles left here. Pitharangi. A little left foot, right foot. Only a metre away as we get to the final play. Here's a little grubber kick. Oh, my goodness! That's just beautiful from the Irish.
Okay,
But is George King onside?
I have a try. Please confirm onside.
Well, this was a set little play. And George King, he may have got himself a try here to put the Irish out to a double-digit lead. Well, he's certainly onside there, looking at a replay.
Yeah, at the moment we're insufficient. Okay, we're playing on. Grant, he's taken possession of the ball there, and granted, we've got decision going to the board.
Thanks, Chids.
So George King will get this confirmed. And Ireland lead Italy 10 points to 0.
make sure Michael McLaurin is not pushing blokes back into the ruck. You're not going to get a penalty out of it.
We spoke pre-game about Michael McLaurin and the class again in this first couple of plays. You mentioned they looked a little bit clunky there, Dan, but didn't they find their way in that second half of the set? McLaurin, he's the man, the kicking duties. Great play.
Oh, Italy.
Well, they're about to be running ahead of the clock here. The Irish, a shock start. They came into this game as underdogs as Liam Finn drives it through. They lead 12-0 after 10 minutes. The one thing we haven't had yet at this World Cup, it's been a wonderful start of the tournament, we haven't had a thriller. We haven't had a really close game, and well, the Italians have got to get off the mat here, but we may be in store for a tight one this afternoon.
Well, at the moment, you're looking at the energy around this Irish side. They've had 76% possession, and it's been all of them. The Italians, they need to just hang on, get some even share of possession, get back in this game.
It's a challenging take for Pitharangi. Imagine having that Daniel Alvaro pouring down on you when you're about to catch it. Singled and put down. The Italians here look like they might be showing a touch more energy in this set as McCarthy Scarsbrook. Oh, that's a good run. He's put down. Ryan Girdler, your thoughts on the Italians?
Yeah, I was just going to say that the one thing they're lacking at the moment is talk, and that's what Campese brings to the outfit. Andrew's talking about possession there. They certainly need that, but they just need someone out there to be a little bit more vocal and take the team by the reins.
So here's a kick plugged in the corner. Geez, they're doing the little things right, aren't they, the Irish? And here's Josh Mantolato. Oh, buried in the tackle there. Mantolato was the top scorer in Super League only a couple of seasons ago. He's back in Australia these days playing for the Wallaroos in the New South Wales Cup. Here's a dart here. As Mason Ceruto manages to draw the penalty. My goodness, they needed that. Gee, a bit of a penalty-a-thon here this afternoon, but that's a big one for Italy.
I think they might have got a little bit lucky there, Italy. It was a messy play, the ball from Mason Ceruto. But as you mentioned, Dan, they needed that desperately.
Wait for the kick.
The breeze is significant, and again, it's there to see with that kick only gaining about 20 metres. Italy will have that at their back in the second half, but they'll be looking up into the sun. There's Nathan Brown. What a wonderful year he had for the Eels. Just gets over that halfway line.
Go to Vaughan.
Well, Wilkie, Johns, and back inside to Reith Muller.
Back here.
He's been put down here by a Moore. Here's Wilkie probing. Getty. Oh, a dangerous pass, but Tedesco's come up with it. He got away from Pitharangi. Finally fell. But the Italians now knocking on the door. Mark Minicello at the line to Paul Vaughan. Nice tackle down low, McCarthy Scarsbrook. We get to the final play. No, we don't hand on the ball in the ruck.
That's not on momentum.
And I dare say they'll be taking the tap here, Andrew Ryan.
I would think so. It was a positive set, but we see every time James Tedesco gets the ball out the back, Chamberlain is up and in.
So first to hit it up, Alvaro, and the Italians, their first genuine opportunity to put points on the board in this game.
Go one.
Johns. Flat pass, Minicello, and you heard the call. About 13 Irishmen in unison called that a forward pass, and the touch judge and the referee agreed. Here's a replay, and that's line ball.
Yeah, that was a forward pass there. Unfortunately, just got a little bit disjointed. Jack Johns going to the line, which he does brilliantly. But Mark Minicello just slightly ahead of him there. Just big let-off for this Irish side. Their first real attacking opportunity. The Italians, they need to do a better job there.
Well, we could look at the Italian side and look at their NRL players, the Vaughans, the Alvaros, the Browns, Tedesco, obviously. Chamberlain running down the right edge. But the Irish Wolf fans, what they have is a lot of Super League experience. He's one of them now, Michael Roberts.
Give him room, Mark.
Players that have played a lot of rugby league, so they won't be overawed by this occasion, certainly. The most recent try scorer, King, goes down the middle. And those played the balls, they remain snappy. Grix chiming in at dummy half. pushing away from Brown. Now McCarthy Scarsbrook stands, delivers, Griggs, and can't quite get those arms free.
Back here, Paul, mate. Wait for it. Wait! Go.
On a play for the Wolfhounds.
Emo in the middle.
Well, that's a problem for Ceruto. He's played at that, and it's an Irish scrum feed. This is fast turning into a disaster for the Italians, and what an opportunity now for Ireland to extend.
He's a smart player, Liam Finn, and you could just see there, these conditions, he wanted to try and give his rest, but he certainly didn't expect to be getting the ball back off a scrum. And as you mentioned, Dan, came off Mason Ceruto there. A cruel error there from Mason, and again under the pump here defensively, this Italian side.
Head in, James. Head in, Michael. In you go.
And it comes. And Michael Morgan up to the 20. Hard to put down. And Cello and Alvaro finally knock him over. For the penalty there, not coming. And Singleton over the 10-metre line.
Lock in. Hold. No, you get up and play it on the mark.
McAlorum. McCarthy Scarsbrook. Strong defence, Reithmuller. John's there to help as well, but another penalty. Now, this is an interesting decision to be made here.
Come on, boys, tidy up. Give some
They
space
seem to
in that
have
ruck.
Italy on the ropes, but it's a pretty gettable 2 points.
Yeah, you'd expect them just to knock this 2 points over. They're in a great rhythm, this Irish side. And the dominance they've had in the opening exchanges this game, they have opted to take the 2 here and just continue to roll in their rhythm. They haven't put a foot wrong yet, this Irish side.
Always a hard thing to judge the value of the breeze. If you had to put a points value on this, it's more than a breeze. It's a strong wind. How many would you suggest, Andrew?
Rob, tell him I've told him.
You know, look at it, the score already, but in saying that, it hasn't just been the wind here in these stages. The Italian side, they've been ill-disciplined, way too many penalties, and you can just see when the Irish side get the ball back, their energy is coming off the back of that.
So Finn 2 from 2. The Irish captain remains perfect. And the lead extends out to 14-0. Ireland, the outsiders, leading the Italians. So they have to remain close enough, Italy, to at least be in this contest when these teams turn around. And they are absolutely shell-shocked. This is a team that in 2013 really shocked everyone. They upset Wales in Cardiff. They drew with Scotland. They could have made the quarterfinal, but went down to Tonga 16-0. It was generally seen as an excellent tournament for the Italians. And with the sprinkling of NRL players here at this tournament, there really had been high hopes.
Straight on now, let's go, square. Back here, hold,
He's King.
hold, go 2.
Kyler Moore has been very busy. 30-year-old from St Helens.
You gotta just get up where you
Won
are.
a Super League title in 2014 as now King shuffles the pass. Here's McAlorum probing. Hard to put down. That's the halfway line you can see there. Italy,
Go 4.
they are just relenting in defence. The Irish really making meters at will, although good work there from Reithmuller to drop them all cold. Final play. They're going to run it here, and McCarthy Scarsbrook has spotted a big opening. They've got numbers, the big dummy, and then a forward pass. Oh, it's cost them badly.
Can you control this? Hand over here. How's that time
And
going?
McCarthy Scarsbrook, he had them lined up on his outside, but they couldn't finish it off.
I think he had too many options on his left-hand side there. He poured through on the
Number
last
4.
tackle.
That's the second time, mate.
And it was
You gotta go
3 on 1, basically. Tedesco coming across, decided to dummy and go himself, and then it all went a bit pear-shaped. Mason Ceruto caught out on that outside, but he burst through the gap. Tedesco did a good job to get there
Robert, can you...
and save the day, but a really big let-off there from the Irish side.
Well, that might have just saved their afternoon. 18 or 20, and it's so hard to see them running the Irish down.
Control it here, Joey.
Yeah.
It was a really impressive set off the back of that penalty goal too there, Dan. They just poured through the middle of the ruck. They realised this Italian side, they've had so much defence to do in the early stages of this game, and they are just capitalising on it.
We are due for a heat break, but this is not the heat break. Michael Morgan being treated. He's had that problem since the outset. Been strong.
Shut away, boys, get up!
Wolfhounds.
Hold, go, one.
Mookie feeds it to Reithmuller. Two Northern Pride players. Reithmuller, 31 games with the North Queensland Cowboys. These days he's a local chippy.
Let go now, straight up! Back here, hold! Go, three.
So good at the offload, but not on this occasion.
Hold! Hold! Go, four.
Here's Alvaro. A strong run. Plays about 40 minutes of NRL games. He's put in a long stint so far today. Won't be long for this game for the time being. John's putting it up high. Wind not really having an effect, and Scott Grix with a bit of courage there takes it.
That's a drinks break. We're going to play tackle one. Scott Grix, leave the ball here for me, mate.
So we'll have a short pause, and we'll come back shortly with Ireland leading Italy 14 points to nil here in Cairns.
Oh, I'll be quicker.
My goodness, Andrew Ryan, they needed this break, the Azuri.
Yes, and this Irish side, they've been so dominant through the middle. Singleton and Namor just powering the metres through the middle of the ruck, and Mickey McLaurin off the back of it, he's brilliant.
So there'll be a break at the 60-minute mark as well, and half-time will be extended to 20 minutes, which is a good thing because it's a bit makeshift here at Barlow Park. These teams, Italy and Ireland, are actually set up about 300 metres to our west.
Okay, boys, Scott Grix, play the ball, tackle one.
The Scots and the Tongans taking the main dressing rooms here. They follow us, and we're all looking forward to seeing what the Tongans have in store for us. But we're certainly getting a good view of what Ireland's all about. Next Sunday, they will be in Port Moresby. That'll be an experience against Papua New Guinea. What about those scenes yesterday? And they finish off with a game in Perth against Wales. And this is a game both sides see as must win. It is so hard to qualify out of Group C or Group D if the first match is dropped.
Go four.
Here's Reithmuller, he's going to kick early. Now that's from behind the 40. And he's trapped here by Tedesco. Really hasn't had much of an opportunity, has he, in this game? As he's taken by McCarthy, Scarsbrook and King. Just doing everything so much faster. The Irish players. Saruto.
Go two.
Getty jumps in at dummy half. Provides for Nathan Malone, West's Tigers player. Part of the New South Wales Cup set up this year, but has got some NRL experience.
James, straight up. Back here. Hold. Go four.
He's now continue to power down the middle. Alvaro.
Back here, boys.
That'll get us to the final tackle here. Pretty good set from the Italians. Johns hit heavily after he put the ball in the air.
Not touch.
And the bounce is friendly for Grix. And the Irish back with the ball down to the sideline. Ryan Girdler.
Yeah, just an injury update, boys. Michael Morgan's gone up the tunnel. You spoke about that head clash, Dan, that he had earlier. Well, he's going to get it stitched up, and the doctor's just looking for some footage to see whether or not it's going to count as a HIA interchange.
All right. It'd be lovely if we can get through a game at this Rugby League World Cup without a major injury. So far, so good. This is Joe Philbin. For the Warrington Wolves, and another one-out run as the changes are coming here for both sides. Hassan playing it there, and nice end of the set here. dotting their I's and crossing their T's. The Irish side of Ceruto brings it back.
They sure are, and we've seen finally in the last few minutes both teams in the arm wrestle here. It's been all Ireland for this 20-odd minutes. Finally, the Italians have got some completions, some back-to-back sets. Whether or not they can turn that into some good ball opportunities, we'll have to wait and see at the end of this set.
Yeah, they were shell-shocked, weren't they? Here's Wilkie. Vaughan. He was a star for the Azzurri at the 2013 World Cup after just completing his first year of first-grade ven for the Canberra Raiders. Brown. The offload, Tedesco lurking. Oh, he almost found Getty. Slipped the pass to Johns. Johns gets it on. Here comes Castellaro. And he goes without it. A big tackle by the halfback, Liam Finn. And that's as close as the Italians have been so far this afternoon.
Fantastic play there from James Tedesco. He just showed his class through the middle of the park and got the ball away to Jack Johns on that right edge, who hit Justin Castellaro. But unfortunately, again, they just let an error there from Castellaro and a let-off for this Irish side again.
But encouraging signs for Italy as Philbin takes it forward. His dad wanted to come out and see him at this tournament. Unfortunately, couldn't leave the farm. So if you're watching, I hope you're enjoying your son go around at this Rugby League World Cup. Here's a kick again before the last, and it's just going all according to plan. The Irish, they're looking for the touchline at any opportunity just to slow this game down.
Yeah, it's smart play there from this Irish side. Hit the Rangi on the right edge. A la Finn that tried to do on the previous time they came down this side. Just wants to give his big forwards a rest. They've been really strong in the opening exchanges of this game, and you can just see the Italians, as soon as that ball went over the sideline, 5, 6, 7 guys hunched over trying to get some air in.
We can't stress just how pressing these conditions are in the high 20s, but it's the humidity, isn't it, Andrew Ryan, that is just such a major challenge for these players.
It sure is, Dan, and what that does, it makes the ball slippery, the lungs are burning. It's really tough conditions to play in, especially if you haven't played in this before. You can do all the training in the world, but when you get it on that field, it's completely different.
Both sides had their final training run yesterday in the morning. But this right now is the hottest part of the day. And that second half, that sun will be a factor. Because this is a slightly unusually angled ground, the Italians will be looking into the sun. Yeah, here's Tedesco with the pick up on the half volley. Can't shake off McCarthy Scarsbrook, who he does eventually, but not before Philbin gets there. Johns ignores Santi. Wayward. Going up to clean it up here is Mark Minicello. Oh, and then the extravagant pass. That's come off the hands of Kay. And that is offside against Anthony Mullally. Ryan Girdler.
Yeah, I was just going to talk about the body language. Andrew mentioned it there. The Italians walking back to that scrum. Gee, they took an age, and they're a smaller side, the Irish, and they're certainly enjoying these conditions and putting these Italian big fellas through some sort of tackling exhibition here this afternoon.
So ball put into touch 40 metres out. So momentum possibly slightly changing here. The Italians, a lot of work to do. Reith Mullen. Comes to Wilkie. Brown into Vaughan. Straight and hard. And come back to the Johns. It's past to Reith Mullen, just going straight down the middle. And we're inside the 20 now. There's Wilkie to Brown. Threatens to pass before the line. Mullally there along with Hassan. Wilkie. Getty playing halfback. And barreled there by Oliver Roberts. Final play. Johns. And that is dropped by Liam Finn. And they're going to get 6 more tackles here, the Italians, as this game now noticeably does have a change of momentum.
Yeah, you're exactly right. They've got some momentum in the last few minutes. Probably wasn't one of Jack Johns' greatest kicks, but Finn tried to get down on it. Tough take for him, but an error to this Irish side. They're starting to build some momentum, this Italian side. through Tedesco and Nathan Brown. Nathan Brown, his last 5 or 6 minutes, he's really taken it upon himself to lift his team.
Head in, boys. Head in, Joe.
Just ready to feed this.
Head in, mate. Head in.
A try here, so important for the Italians to get themselves back into this. And Ceruto on to Getty, Minicello. Spent the last 3 years at Hull FC. He's won a couple of Challenge Cups. Seems to be playing better than ever. Brendan Santi. He's under the sticks. Getty. Johns, the quick hands. Not quite crisp, but batted on by Castellaro. And that has been forward. So again, the Irish let off the hook here as they maintain their strong advantage on the scoreboard.
Fantastic decision from this left edge of the Irish side. Again, they come up and in. They realise the threat of Tedesco. Normally out the back on the left side. He was over on the right this time. But to come up and in and shut this down, the Italians haven't got the answers for it at the moment. They need to start hitting the short runner, hitting the straight runner, going through them as opposed to trying going around them.
Start to see the effects of this heat on both these sides. Liam Kay.
Brendan, get up.
The ball rolling.
Hold him, mate. Hold. Go
For the Irish. What a start it was. Scoring before the Italians had touched the ball.
Mark, give him room. Hold. Go 2.
Chamberlain now playing it. Just nice simple stuff from the Irish. And now a penalty. Well, this is what got them going to start this game. Penalties in the ruck. They are just killing the Azzurri.
Oh, they are coach killers there, Dan. Those ones coming out of trouble. The Irish would be absolutely loving this, the wind at their backs. And you get a penalty like that, those piggyback penalties take you right down into great attacking position.
Well, Finn, he's made so many metres from these kicks into touch. And they're set up beautifully now, the Irish.
Wait for the kick. Hold.
With Chamberlain tapping. Oliver Roberts over the 20-metre line.
Pull straight up in square. Wait here. Hold. Go 1.
McCarthy. Philbin. Hit hard.
Go now.
Vaughan involved.
Go 2.
Centre field for McCarthy. And now Mullally. He got over the top of Vaughan.
Get off.
So close to the line. McCarthy. Finn. Trying to create numbers. Grits the cut. He got there. Liam Kay gets a double. And Ireland extend if it's legal.
I have a try. Please confirm touchline and grounding.
Well, looked pretty good from our angle.
So I'll watch the ball.
And it looks like they're about to go 18-0 up.
Just bring it in here, nice and slow. That's good. Feet are always in. And we've got grounding. Okay, got a decision. Go on the board, guys.
Thanks, Chids.
Well. It's confirmed 3 tries for Ireland in the first half hour.
Liam Kay, he's got so much speed to burn over on that left edge. And this right edge of the Italian team, Castellaro and Mason Ceruto, got really tight there. Mason Ceruto was tucked in. Fantastic play from Key.
This just gets better and better for the Irish. With the win, yes, but this is some lead they've established. And Liam Finn, he got one from here to get the game going. Deliberately keeping it low. See what he's got here. And he's done it again, hooking it around. They have been nearly perfect, the Irish. 20 points to 0. And Liam Kay, now he is part of the Toronto Wolfpack. What a story they have been. They were part of the English third tier of football, League One. They absolutely slaughtered their opposition. They won 20 out of 22. They had an average winning margin of 46 points. Now they're heading towards the Kingston Press Championship, where they are favoured to at least challenge for a spot in the Super League. It's been a wonderful, one of the great stories in the 2017 Rugby League season.
Well, I'll tell you what, that man, Liam Kay, who's carrying the ball just there, if he continues to run off the back of Scott Griggs and the combination of Liam Finn, is going to score plenty more tries because they are so sharp, in particular on that left edge at the moment.
Here's Hassan ambling it up. 39 games in the NRL. He's currently with Wakefield, so he's got teammates in this side in Finn and Griggs. That's a strong run from Philbin, who's just 22 years old. Final play, and Finn tries to use that breeze, floating to the sideline. Now Ceruto had his feet planted over, and that means that is out on the full. Nice bit of thinking from the young man from Penrith.
So fifth tackle, we have a handover over here. Handover.
He did a great job there, Mason Ceruto. Just gets his big toe over the sideline. I'm sure he was totally aware of that. Coach Ciraldo would have, his heart would have been nearly jumping out of his chest there, because that was the last thing they would have needed. But he did a good job there, stayed composed.
Now, you've got to know Cameron Ciraldo. If this score holds, what sort of half-time address can we expect from the Italian coach?
Oh, he's a pretty calm sort of character under normal circumstances, but obviously extremely disappointing half, but not taking anything away from this Irish side. They have been brilliant.
Jaden Walker plays it now. Montana from Canterbury, the diminutive backup dummy half. Leading it to Johns there. And now Shannon Wakeman. What a unit he is. Up to the 20-metre line. Montana. Getty. Tedesco. Oh, big tackle from Pitharangi. But there's an offside call.
No, wait, it's 10-metre penalty.
7 minutes to go in this first half. They need something in a hurry.
Back here, Ireland. Go.
It's going to be Brendan Santee to hit it up. An oral experience with West's Tigers. He's part of the Sydney Roosters setup with the Wyong Roos in the New South Wales Cup. Now Getty at first receiver. Wakeman. Nice tackle down low by George King. Now Montana again looks to go right. Johns. Walker. No match for this Irish defence. Johns. Oh, the juggle and the put down. And that's unfortunate. So you can hear the Irish in the background lapping it up. And that's an opportunity blown for the Azzurri. In all honesty, Andrew Ryan, they really didn't look like cracking them at any stage in that set.
No, it was a very fatigued set there from the Italian side. They had a couple of middle runners take carries, but they really didn't pose any threat. They had a crack out on that right edge, but all a little bit disjointed there. And then unfortunately for Jack Johns, he had a few things going on in his mind there. He was trying to get the ball to Getty out on this left edge, but it all went a little bit pear-shaped.
6 errors made by the Italians in the first half. Their completion rate, 64%. Ireland, 88%. So really, they have laid down the mark of the Irish.
Now you're in front, 17. Come on, mate.
Griggs a dummy half there. Michael Morgan bandaged up.
Go two.
Get him!
Blindside here. Pitharangi really hasn't injected himself into this game. He hasn't had to. Providing for the centre Chamberlain. Now Mullally. Went full vegan this year, Anthony Mullally. Don't hear that often about front rowers. Now Philbin with the extravagant pass. Morgan. And he tries to get through and almost does get through Castellaro. Final play coming. Duffy. Finn under pressure, and even under pressure he manages to find the touchline. What a halves exhibition he's put on this afternoon so far.
Oh, indeed he has. He's got so much control. He sits himself on that left edge, but he doesn't just stay there. He moves around. You can see he's controlling his troops. He's got that right foot kicking game, but also we've seen Michael McLaurin kick out a dummy half as well to great effect, but a controlled set. And again, they're pouring down that right edge of the Italian side. At anywhere on the field, they're just looking to pass and really take the yards. They need to address that, the Italian team.
It's obvious they've done their homework, haven't they? So Mark Minicello is first to hit her up out of this scrum.
Go, one, Tyrone, you're not square. One.
Antelado getting involved.
Let go now. Hold. Go two, there, Kane.
Fifth hit up this afternoon. He's going to try and tell away to Santi. Nice quick play the ball. Might have been exactly legal there. Perhaps not facing the opposition goalpost, but we continue. Getty now jumps in a dummy half and finds Wakeman. But the Irish defence just holding beautifully. Getty with the kick into the breeze and dropping back. There's Shannon McDonald. And McDonald, of course, Australian and British rugby league fans will be well aware of his work. He spent the last year, McDonald, playing for the Camden Rams in the New South Wales Group 6 competition.
He's got speed to burn too, Shannon McDonald. Seen him play a lot of fullback for this Irish side as well, but out on the wing, he's got a real clean pair of heels.
Played 5 years of Super League at Hull FC, Hull KR, St Helens, and 60 games of NRL for the Tigers and the Knights. Here's Tyrone McCarthy, formerly of the Dragons and now Salford. 39 out. Last play, Finn. Griggs. Oh, that was telegraphed, and here we go. It is Justin Castellaro. Only Kay can catch him, but it's all over. Goodbye, Justin Castellaro, the local boy. He puts points on the board for the Italians. My word, they needed that. And just maybe the start of a comeback for the Azzurri. Exactly what they needed just before the halftime break. And Scott Griggs has been torching them on that side with his passing game. This time, he picked out the Italian centre. And it's now 20 points to 4. The kick will be from in front.
The Irish side, we spoke on the previous set, going down that left edge again, and Griggs, he's been so impressive down there. That combination, Castellaro deciding to come up and in this time. Great decision.
Justin Castellaro. He's a local boy, one of 4 Northern Pride players in this Italian side. He's a plumber that works at a local hardware store, and here he is playing the Rugby League World Cup. And at least it gives the Italians something to go into the sheds with. They do have the breeze at their backs, and it seems to be dropping off a little. It's a long way home, but finally some joy. Mantelado with his first kick at goal in this Rugby League World Cup. So it's a 14-point margin with a minute remaining in this first period. As we look at a replay here, and this is the side of the field where the Italians have been decimated, but not on this occasion. Castellaro showing a good turn of speed.
Well, he decided to take a leaf out of the Irish outside backs book and come up and in there on this occasion. They've been really passive, in particular on that right edge, the Italian side. This time he just thought, we're short on numbers, I'm coming up and in here. And luckily for the fans in the crowd here, the Italian fans who came alive when he ran down the field. Finally, a little bit of joy in this half.
This is the first of 2 games here at Barlow Park in Cairns. After this, Scotland versus Tonga. We can't wait to see the likes of Taumalolo and Fafita in that red jersey. Oh, knock on, and this is a chance here for Ireland. They'll want to pack quickly. They might get a couple of plays here. Now, Tramontana has gone. He's gone down, and here we go. The pot is boiling.
Time off.
Now, significantly, time has been called off, so if and when this scrum packs, there will be 20 seconds left.
The scrum. Can you check the actions of Kyle Amor? If you have, and then Nathan Brown, I think, second bloke.
All right, so Kyle Amor, the prop for Ireland, might be under a bit of scrutiny here.
Thanks, Shannon. Away we go, boys. Back, back, back. Back. Time's off. Thanks, mate. You got anything to offer?
You had a 15 and you said it was in the scrum. They pulled him to the floor. I didn't see that.
No, that's all right.
And then the last one literally dropped.
Okay.
Hard to see anything out of this, Andrew.
We're going to go back there to where the scrum was. Time's off, Joe, because you joined their scrum and interfered with the slowing. Absolutely you did. Down we go. No, he didn't. It's a scrum. You're going that way next half. No. Come on. Come on, boys. It's a scrum.
So, some stern words from Grant Atkins there. And Ireland, 2, maybe 3 plays to deliver what would possibly be close to the knockout blow.
James. James. Is that
McCarthy's going to feed this. And Finn packs in at the back.
Hold the weight. James in. Time on.
And there's Finn. That's a Lithuania. We haven't seen much of this so far. Takes the line on. Come back left. Oh, Finn's going to take the shot at goal. It's low and it's wide.
0.
And that should do us. About the only thing Liam Finn has done wrong all first half. A sensational opening for the Wolfhounds at half-time. It is Ireland 20, Italy 6. Has ended. And the second half is about to begin. Ireland 20, Italy 6. Andrew Ryan in commentary with Ryan Girdler on the sideline and Dan Ganane. And the Italians do have the breeze at their back in this second half. It's still pretty stiff. Tell you what's also pretty strong, Andrew, and that is the humidity. It's actually gone up. We're into the 70% region and still in the high 20s.
Okay, stay back.
So the weather is a challenge. And the scoreboard, a major challenge for the Azzurri as Johns fields the kickoff and feeds it to Wakeman. What do the Azzurri need to do better in this second half, Andrew?
Oh, they just gave away way too many penalties, Dan. They were ill-disciplined. And look, they can't just rely on the breeze in this second half to get them home. They need to be a lot better. Already they've shown a lot more energy, even in the first 30 seconds of this second half. But they just need to complete, get in some rhythm and get some confidence.
Well, they did score the last try in the first half. And Santi now. And he manages to get the late offload. We didn't see much offloading from Italy in that first period. Johns. Heavily O'Lally there. With Hassan. Tramontana, the young Canterbury hooker. Cleaned up by Hassan at marker. Last play. Brown chimes in a dummy half. Getty with the hit and hope bomb. Looking for the breeze to do the work. Beautiful take by McDonald. But Italy have got the Irish pinned in the corner here. That's something we did not see in the first period as Chamberlain goes nowhere. Scott Grix, so good in the first period, although he did deliver the intercept to just open the door for Italy. Filled it to his own 20. They have come out, the Italians, with far more intent, haven't they? There's McCarthy Scarsbrook. Nearly 100 metres in that first half. He leads all forwards in this game. Finn with the driving kick. And easily cleaned up here. Right to Desco. Can't get away from Michael Morgan. There's Mason Ceruto. Oh, big tackle there by Oliver Roberts. And we might have a problem. That's Jack Johns clutching at that left wrist. Minicello. Ryan Girdler, down to you.
Yeah, clutching at the left wrist, as you said, Dan. He went in, took a hit up, and it was a strong carry by Jack, probably to try to get some confidence back in. And unfortunately, he's copped the knock. Let's see if he can put up with it and play on.
Well, he certainly wants to, and he's certainly given a rugby league initiation in the first 40 minutes, but he does certainly possess a fair bit of resilience. Here's Tramontana. Tedesco, the chip kick. It's pretty well weighted. Griggs has got some work to do. Leaves it behind him, but then it's put down by Castellaro. Now, Ireland will get this.
Ireland first.
Ireland will give this back.
Then Italy.
But what a chance lost here. Castellaro couldn't believe his good fortune.
Extremely disappointing there from Justin Castellaro. It was a nice little kick. James Tedesco, beautiful depth on his kick. And Scott Griggs going in behind him, tried to get on it. Castellaro tries to scoop it up and go over the top of him. But they're on the attack here in the early stages. Italy have had two really impressive sets. They've found some energy straight off the back of this half-time break.
Johns is fighting hard here to stay in this. Time called off. He's clearly in pain here.
Right, Jack.
And he wants to continue.
Okay. It's coming off.
Yes. So that
Much
is
rather that.
most unfortunate. And will require another reshuffle. Of course, Terry Campese was a late withdrawal.
Back, boys.
Cole Wilkie will come into the game. Now, he primarily a dummy half. So some reshuffling here for the Azzurri.
It'll be interesting to see what they do here, Dan. It looks like Wilkie has gone in to feed the scrum. You've got Joe Tramontana out there at the moment. And Ryan Getty with the number 9 on his back, but playing in the halves.
Wilkie feeds Tramontana out the back. Tedesco, the dummy again. Quite shake off Pitharangi. With Tyrone McCarthy there as well. And James Hassan down low.
1 foot here. Go, 1.
Short side. Minicello. Well handled. Mullally in late. McCarthy doing some good work there. Tramontana, Getty at halfback. Oh, he's past Asante, he's put down. Now, this might be play on
That's
here.
a contest for a bouncing ball. Contest for a bouncing ball. We're going to knock on Italy.
So, the chance blown. That's a big opportunity gone. Imagine had they scored there with basically a full second half at their disposal, but the margin remains a problem for the Italians.
Oh, you're spot on, Dan. But even if they don't score a try, they need to build more pressure than that, the Italian side. A ball in behind there. Brendan Santi going to the line. The pass from Ryan Getty just went in behind him. And he forced that error. They were in such prime position to build some pressure on this Irish team.
So both halves gone. Getty spent plenty of time during the week in the halves role. What about Wilkie? Has he spent any time as a first or second receiver?
Oh, he's been predominantly playing in that hooker or back row position.
And here's Scott Griggs. Closed down quickly by Ceruto. Jaden Walker getting a bit frisky.
Go, 2.
Zion just punch it out here. And there's McCarthy.
Go, 3.
Finn jumping into dummy half. Anthony Mullally, the vegan warrior.
Back here. Hold. Go, 4.
Just shy of that halfway line. Hassan with a running. He wanted to continue it there, but it was well read by the defence, particularly Minicello. Finn, a driving kick to the corner. Tedesco, a little bit of room here. He runs down the short side. And Chamberlain with a nice tackle there. With Oliver Roberts helping as well. So yet to see points in this first half. Italy with the stiff breeze at their back.
Go, 2.
Getty jumps into dummy half. Antolano. Oh, he rode a heavy bump there. And an Irishman is down. That is Joe Philbin. He just dawdles back to the defensive line. Here's Tramontana. They've got a one-man overlap if they can expose. Here's Tedesco probing, spots a little opening. Griggs has to come in and Mullally in there with the tackle. And the Irishman Philbin is still down, so it's 13 on 12. And as we go to the air, gets it on. Nathan Malone scores. And we have a contest. And then the pass. He decided not to do it all on his own. And he found his man, Nathan Malone. And the Italians, they're coming back. They've scored the last 2 tries. It's now Ireland 20, Italy 10.
Finally, the Italian side gets some joy down here. Even in the opening exchanges of this second half, they've had a couple of chances, but we saw an error on the previous set. This time it was Mantellato flying over Shannon McDonald, and the pass inside to Nathan Malone. Extremely important position there for the Italian side.
Sometimes the simplest option is the most effective. Just put it up in the air and hope for the best. And we know one thing about Josh Mantellato, he's got a leap.
Oh, and he's a big, tall timber, Josh Mantellato. And this Irish side, they've got a pretty small back three, really, when you look at them. And Mantellato flying through there on a smaller man in McDonald. It was a great option.
So Joe Philbin looks like he's out, but certainly for the time being, and he looks in a pretty bad way. So that'll take the Irish to 16. Italy has lost Jack Johns. And there's a pretty fair bench, a pretty fair lineup of players on the bench for Italy. Paul Vaughan, Daniel Alvaro, Joel Ruthmuller as well. But a couple of bookends there to come back into this game. They'll certainly be emboldened. And here's Mantellato. His first kick was from basically in front. And the Thurston hook. And both goal kickers, Liam Finn and Josh Mantellato, not fazed by these windy conditions. These are the sort of conditions that have knocked about some great NRL kickers like Adam Reynolds and Jared Croker, but pinpoint so far. Great presence of mind by Mantellato not to try and do it on his own and perhaps get himself caught in no man's land.
He's so good under the high ball, Mantellato.
Stay behind! Right!
And here's the restart. And Saruto, oh, that almost got away from him. But he seems to be growing in confidence as this game goes on. 21, electrician.
Go, mate. One.
Played in the New South Wales Cup and State Championship Grand Finals. And now Brendan Santee draws the penalty. Well, this has turned completely.
Where you are.
A good carry there from Brendan Santee in the middle of the park. But as you said, Mason Saruto carried the previous play. They're getting some confidence up here, the Italian team.
And I'm sure there's plenty of talk as well down to the sideline. Brian Girdler.
Yeah, just on Jack Johns, firstly, he's back on the bench. It's heavily strapped, though, his arm, and I don't think we'll see him again today. But the Italian fans went crazy then. That's what they've been waiting to see. Brown, Tedesco through that middle third. That's where they're dangerous. That's what they need to keep doing.
And I'll go to the short side. Minicello, beautiful pass. Malone cutting back in field, running into Chamberlain. But a real roll on here. Nice quick play the ball. Here's Getty at first receiver. Turns it into Brown. Lovely pass to Tedesco. And the tackle down low. Crucial for McDonald. Inside the 20 now. Tramontana to Brown. They hang off him. He's inside the 10. And the ball locked up by Tyrone McCarthy. Still a couple of tackles left here for the Italians. Tramontana now gets it on to Wakeman. That's a loose pass. That's a problem. That's Irish ball, but no, they've got 6 more. The Italians. Now the little things are going their way as well. This is a fresh set.
0.
Wakeman. Oh, he got rid of 2 defenders there. McCarthy.
1.
He's one of them, and now Tramontana with a little probing run. And he runs into Mick McAlorum.
Get up!
And they're knocking on the door again, the Italians. It's been all Azzurri in their second half. All Sandy does well to hang on to it. That was a dicey pass from Getty. Left is where they go again. Tedesco, the left foot step. He pushes away from Griggs. But no match for the Irish defence. Pitharangi there. McCarthy, my word, he's made some tackles in these last couple of sets. Minicello, Getty, Santee, all a bit laborious here. Santee knocked over, and that gets us to the final play. And he come back to the right, and here's the kick to the right corner. Puts it down. Although the ball's come free, Jaden Walker couldn't ground it. Well, there's all sorts of things to look at here.
To Ireland. So knock on a food first. Okay, I'm back to 0, Chids. Have a no try. Please confirm if there's a double knock on and then check the grounding, please.
This is an amazing save if Jaden Walker hasn't got this ball down and he doesn't look all that confident.
Okay, just on the boot there. So the outside players are all onside. Play on from there. Yeah, that'd be great. We'll take a close up there.
Sorry, mate, I'm just listening to something at the moment.
So the Italian hands up there, you think? Yeah, that'd be good. Or something from the other side, possibly. Yep, this would be good. Just slow this one down. Yeah, just back to that original one, mate. That'd be great. We'll go from that after that. Yep. So it's come off his hand into the Italian place. We've got a knock on Ireland at that point. And then there's knock on there as well. Yep. Okay, mate, we've got a decision. We're going to the board.
Yep.
Crucial decision there.
What is that, Chids? Can you tell me?
To not award the knock on against Castellaro. So Italy will get it back.
Okay.
But what a tackle by Liam Finn, the halfback, to jot the ball free from Jaden Walker.
Then Italy, scrum out here, Ireland first.
If he doesn't turn up on that play, Dan.
Sorry, Italy first.
It's thank you, Grant Atkins. It got us into a little bit of a panic. So, yes, Italy will continue the attack.
If he doesn't turn up on that play, it's huge for his team, and it's been all Italy in this first 11 minutes of this half, but they need to capitalise. They need to continue to build pressure.
Michael Morgan, the gambler, he let that ball go knowing he was offside. It almost resulted in a try. The Italians, they go left. Getty. Oh, Minicello knocked sideways. And Oliver Roberts from Montana. Left again to Tedesco, the dummy. Well, he got inside Roberts momentarily, but good scramble from the Irish second rower. From Montana. Getty. Flat-footed Wakeman. Pushed away from McAlore. Oh, there's some big bodies needed to get in the way there. A metre away from Montana. Getty, the flat ball. Santi, perfectly read by Singleton, but the ball comes out. And now it's in the hands of Wilkie, who can't escape Finn. More Kyler Moore. They're hanging on here, the Irish.
Go forward. Got to stay, Michael.
Getty, the grab, ricochets. And this is decision time. And again, it's an Irish knock on. So the little things that were going Ireland's way in the first half, very much going against them. And this is yet another attacking chance for the Italians.
Yeah, tough one to take there. But you can see a real shift in focus from this Irish side. From the Italian side in the last few minutes, they're turning a lot of players under. They're trying to get at these tied middle forwards. And obviously losing Jack Johns, they're down a half. Campese was gone pre-game. The long pass isn't going to work here for them in this second half.
Italy have now had 52% possession in this game. Getty. It's on now. Malone. It's the 10-metre line. The Italians pressing. Getty. Santi. McAlore falls off the tackle. Santi almost got that free. Montana. Brown. Wilkie. Oh, Walker smashed. He had a little look, and now McCarthy Scarsbrook has got some space in front of him. Kay is looming up. This is some chase by Ceruto. McCarthy Scarsbrook, he needs to get it. He needs to get it on, but he's wrapped up. What a brilliant chase by Ceruto. But they spit it wide, the Irish, on the 20-metre line. Griggs comes back to Kay. Kay's already scored 2. He can't shake off Wilkie. Finn. Morgan. He'll try and do it on his own. He gets over, and he claims it.
You got to try. Okay. Tackle 2, Chids. Try. Let's confirm grounding.
What a turnaround. And Michael Morgan seems very, very confident.
Okay, so just roll it in slow for me, please. Balls up, balls up.
Oh.
Yeah, he has a good grip of it. We'll just have a look at that.
They'll review it.
Yeah, we'll lose the ball on that one, so maybe that shot from 5 again, mate, if that's our best. So just bring it in nice and slow.
I don't see it that slow. I don't see it that slow.
Ball is flat.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I think you might be right, mate. We've got the ball that's flat there, mate, and we can't see it near enough to the ground, so we're going to overturn, mate.
Yep.
It'll be play on tackle 2.
Bloke with a head strap in that tackle from the 4, tackle 2.
Now, there's still tackles here for Ireland, but Mason Ceruto just may have saved this game for the Azzurri.
And twice in the set, he had a great chase down there on McCarthy, and then to come in on that last-ditch effort on Morgan. Fantastic play from Ceruto.
And they've had time to get themselves here, settle the Italians.
2.
There's McCarthy floating across that 10-metre line. So still some tackles left here. Nakalora and Kyler takes it down, and this time he gets it down. They won't be taking this off him. Kyler scores, and they're going bananas at the northern end. And Ireland have steadied the ship. And the big fella from St Helens, he was not going to be denied. Kyler Moore has given the Irish a 12-point lead with the kick to come. Ireland 24, Italy 12.
A blow for this Italian side, obviously. They got themselves right back into this contest, and they were building all sorts of pressure, but forced passes in that attacking zone. Again, shot themselves in the foot. A couple of big plays defensively from Ceruto, but the big man, Amor, steams over.
Boys, that's the call now. We complete. We're 5 minutes away from block 2 done.
Kyler Moore, the front rower. Limited international experience. He played a test for Ireland about 6 years ago in a tournament called the European Cup. But he certainly contributed today. As the replay shows, poor James Tedesco didn't have a chance, and Brown didn't have time to get underneath. Well, the Italians had scored the last 2 tries, and that defensive effort by Ireland to deny a 3rd consecutive try appears to be most significant now. Still plenty of time, 25 minutes left. You wouldn't imagine Finn will have a problem here. He's been knocking him over from everywhere.
Time on.
So the Irish reassert their dominance, a 14-point margin. There's an Irish flag. I think it's a pro-Italian crowd here at Barlow Park. But they're not without their fans, the Wolfhounds.
Stay back here, boys.
Didn't win a game at the last World Cup. They were pitted against some awesome opposition. Australia, England, Fiji. They went 0-3. This is an easier group, but it allows for very little error. As Brad Singleton put down. Very hard to make it with only 2 wins and the 1 loss. That's what makes this match so important for both these sides. And there's the try scorer more.
Come on, Nathan, right. Hold. Go 2.
Aaron McCarthy been busy.
Let go now, Joe. Hold.
He played all 3 tests for Ireland at the last World Cup. Oliver Roberts, the second rower, backs into them. The boy from Huddersfield.
Come on. Back here, hold.
There's been a good set here for the Irish. From the kickoff, Singleton, Super League Grand Final winner. And he charges up the Super League champ. Is now Finn with a neat kick. Kay chasing. Tedesco steady. Can't get away from the Irish winger. Sideline, down to you, Ryan Girdler.
Gee, this McLaurin's a talent, boys, isn't he? He was involved in everything in that first half. His combination with some of the halves and the fullback for this Irish side. But then just the way he steps out and engaged the markers, set the big man up then for probably one of his first tries of his World Cup career. So what a moment for the big man. But, gee, they've got a crafty dummy half.
Mick McIlroy, he is a Wigan Warriors legend. He's just come back from a shocking injury. It was actually suffered last year at the World Club Series. He was out for 14 months. The game against the Brisbane Broncos. He kind of made a mess of his testimonial year, but he's back and he's firing. Getty on the last. And it's going to hit the grass here, and it's going to sit up nicely. Grix will have to play at this. There's William Kay there. The man who's played over 300 top-grade games goes to ground.
It was a quality kick from Ryan Getty. But again, we see this discipline from the Italian side. They finally get back into the arm wrestle. And we saw it time and time again in the first 40, giving penalties away in this area of the field. You just cannot win footy games like that.
We had double-figure penalty count in the first half, and that's obviously slowed down significantly in this second period. As Finn looks to kick into the breeze.
Just behind the
Louis
line,
McCarthy, Scarsbrook, 175 metres.
Nathan, go.
Here's Liam Finn. He has been the general, hasn't he? Ed Chamberlain from the witness system. Played a lot of his football in the second and third divisions last year. Kyler Moore, he's really stepped it up in these last few minutes.
Go two.
A strong surge from Tyrone McCarthy. A couple of games for the Dragons, but it didn't really happen for him in the NRL.
You're doing that.
He's now back with the Salford Red Devils. McIlroy, Finn at the line. Almost got through the tackle of Wilkie, and Wilkie's now clutching at his wrist. A la Jack Johns. There's a little grubber. Tedesco right foot. It's a try. Michael Morgan scores.
You right?
The Irish, surely they're on their way to victory. Michael Morgan picking up the crumbs. James Tedesco, a rare error at the back. And Scott Grix, what a lovely grubber kick that was. As Morgan improves the position. And Ireland have steadied 30-12.
He's got a minute, mate. It'll go up in a minute.
Had an absolute field day down on this left edge, the Irish team. And Grix, who's predominantly parked himself over here, comes through with that kick, and unfortunate bounce. Tedesco loses his feet. Morgan, he's been sensational today.
Casey, say Gatorade.
The other Michael Morgan. First try of this tournament. And he's been most impressive, hasn't he? He's a big unit out there in the centres for Ireland.
He got that head knock early, but he hasn't looked back since coming onto the field. He's causing havoc over on this left edge.
7 runs for 85 metres, so that's about 12 metres per run. There's Finn, perfect today to put this margin back out to 20. And this is quickly getting away from Italy. Their surge has been halted, and we will have another heat break. And the temperature, let me assure you, is not getting any cooler. It is Ireland 32, Italy 12.
Much needed again break for this Italian side. They got themselves back in this contest. Don't this Irish side know how to capitalise as soon as they see any opportunities? They've really jumped on it, and it's been all their key players. Grix, Finn, and their hooker, Michael McLaurin. He's been excellent.
It might have been an expectation as this heat break continues that the British teams, Ireland, England, Wales, they may have wilted. Scotland later, they may wilt in the heat. But we're now 60 minutes in, and they don't appear to be wilting the Irish.
No, and they've played an exciting brand of football, but what they've really done well is...
Let me know when you get there, boys, and I'll blow it on.
Asserting their dominance, kicking off the back of it. It's been really good gamesmanship, game management from their halves in particular.
And watching it all on the sideline, Ryan Girdler.
Yeah, I got the feeling when I spoke to Mark Ashton before the game, he was sneaky confident. He had a wry smile on his face, and he said that the continuity they've created in their last couple of training sessions even surprised him. And, well, they've certainly come out here and made it happen this afternoon. He'd be super impressed with this sort of performance.
So there's Joe Philbin back in the game. You saw Paul Vaughan. He needs to have a big finish to this match. Italy have matches against USA next Sunday, and the big one for them will be Fiji in Canberra, which was shaping as must-win anyway. As Griggs cleans it up there, it will be an absolute must to win that match in a couple of Fridays' time. Liam Kay. Ireland have got these 19 minutes to encounter, but really their tournament will be defined by next Sunday's game in Port Moresby against Papua New Guinea. What about those scenes, Andrew Ryan, yesterday? That crowd was enormous and relentless.
Oh, they were just loving life, weren't they? So many quality tries and performers out there.
Singleton getting it up over halfway. Noodles coming fairly comfortably there for the Wolfhounds. Here's Finn. He's had it on a string all day. He slowed it down when they needed a breath. And no one in a hurry here to pack this scrum. If you're late to the broadcast, it is high 20s the temperature, humidity in the 70% region.
Ryan Girdler spoke before about their number 9 for the Irish team, Michael McLaurin, and he, again in that set, it's just that little deception, keeping the markers on their toes, showing one way, coming down the other side. And when it's tough conditions like this out here, the middles are really hurting, and to have a nippy number 9 around the rucks like that, it's danger.
He's class. He played for England at the last World Cup. Mason Cerruto. If Italy go down this afternoon, he can be certainly very happy with some of his work. And he's driven back about 10 metres there. Oliver Roberts under pressure. Nathan Malone swamped. Chamberlain and also Pitharangi. Hit high, and there's a let off as Roberts mistimed his tackle. My word, they needed that, Italy, because they were stuck in quicksand halfway through that set.
They sure were, and they're trying to go around this Irish side. Just slipped high there, Oliver Roberts. He'd be disappointed with that one. They had him in a great position defensively, the Irish team.
Along with the tap, Getty. To the halfway line. It was so hard to recover. You lose your 5'8" before the game, you lose your halfback during the game. But they've just been so badly dominated in the forwards. Minicello now. Tramontana. Brown. Alvaro probing. And that's the 30-metre line in front of him.
Go 3.
If they're going to mount a comeback, they need points in a hurry. Jaden Walker, the young Cronulla Shark.
16.
He's wrapped up by Philbin and also Finn.
Go 4.
To the left, Wilkie. Oh, his pass here to Getty. Getty did well to hang on. Final tackle. Tedesco's going to do the kicking again. It's not bad. Kay cleans it up, stays in the field of play, gets around Tramontana. And again, not the first player to slip in the region between the 10-metre line and the try line. Both ends footing has been a problem. But yet again, Ireland handled that pretty comfortably.
They sure did. Liam Kay just tucked him behind there as we see a big carry from Philbin in the middle of the park.
Isn't he a unit, Joe Philbin?
Let go together. Back here, boys. Come on, keep going. Hold. Go 4.
There's Kay playing it now. He once scored 5 tries in a game this year, Liam Kay, as part of that Toronto team.
Go, Joe!
So they get through their set nicely. Finn, again, looking for the touchline. This time cut off. Saruta.
Here, mate. Here he is. Here. Go, boys, let's go.
Ireland in control. They would need to collapse badly. It would have to be some sort of catastrophe for Italy to get out of this. And Tedesco has been so well handled. Minicello with a strong run. His brother Anthony, part of the Italian setup, as you are, Andrew Ryan.
Go 3.
Montana now. Vaughan. Amor, Roberts all over him. Chamberlain down low.
Go 4.
Getty. Tedesco got that pass very early. Gave the Irish defence a chance to steady. Last play. Getty goes to the air. This has worked already. Here comes Mantelano. And the safe play from McDonald. Batting it over the back. And they'll get 6 more tackles, the Italians, but precious time coming off the clock.
A good option again. We saw they got some joy on that left edge through Mantellato with the points earlier with the pass inside to Malone. And McDonald just sensed the situation there, decided to tap it dead.
30 years old, Shannon McDonald. He played for Ireland. He was their fullback, actually, in last year's qualifiers. The Irish made it to the 2017 Rugby League World Cup by beating Spain and Russia.
Yeah, he went, yeah, I noticed.
So now Roberts get back into the line here. Time is called off. Crowd building. This is the first of 2 games this afternoon.
In the centre, Scott. Stay back, boys. Wait behind the line. Yeah.
With Scotland to take on Tonga shortly. And it's going to be Castellaro, one of the try scorers for Italy, providing for Alvaro. Pretty well handled to this point this afternoon.
Go 1.
Young Bulldog, Tramontana. Vaughan. Singleton down low. McCarthy up top.
Go 2.
Montana with the dummy. Now Walker. Up to the 10.
Straight up and square.
McAlorum all over him.
Right here. Hold. Go 3.
Back to the open side. Here's Nathan Brown trying to do it on his own.
Give him room. Straight up. Hold.
Nice work by Singleton to stop him.
Go
2 tackles left. Tramontana gets it on to Getty. The chip kick. Where's Mantellato? And 6 more tackles. So they're getting results here, Italy, but they need to put points on the board quickly.
They sure do. Dan and Getty sensed there was plenty of space in behind McDonald on that occasion, but he did so good. He's got so much speed, Shannon McDonald. You could see that Mantellato was steaming through, and he taps it back. This is the pressure the Italians needed to build in the first half, but is it too little too late?
If memory serves me, McDonald was an 18th man for the Tigers in the 2005 Grand Final, with Pat Richards in doubt. 12 years on, here he is wearing Irish green. There's Alvaro. We'll bring it back first.
Straight up, boys, let's go, square.
Points are a problem for Italy. They played a trial last week against Tonga. They went down 16-6. There was a lot to admire about that performance, but are they the sort of team that could rack up tries in a hurry? Much harder without their 2 halves playing right now. Go Montana. Vaughan. 3 in there with the tackle. Finn again. Does it all, Liam Finn, the halfback from Wakefield. Tramontana. Walker looking for a little opening.
Get off! Square!
Couple of tackles left here for the Italians. They need something quickly. Tramontana, Brown, McCarthy locks him up around the ball. That's a tremendous tackle.
Give room!
Last play. To the left, Getty to the air. This seems to be their only play. Oh, it's come down here for Nathan Malone. It'll need inspection.
We're going to tackle 6. I've got no try. Please confirm a knock-on from Josh Mantellato.
Not a lot of confidence there amongst the Italians. They need this badly.
Okay, they're on side on the left. Yep, and play on from there. Mantellato in the contest. Something tight on the contest.
Take away again, buddy.
Yeah, certainly looks like he's in there with hands. Just one more from the other side, mate, and we'll sign off on that, I think. So, yeah, there's definitely contact with the hand there. Yeah, so we've got a knock on in the in goal. Going to the board.
From Italy.
So the ball bounced backwards, Andrew Ryan, but pretty clearly a knock on there for Mantellato.
Knock on, Italy. We're going out there. 20-metre restart. 20 metre, just be tackle 0. Yep.
Has been their go-to, hasn't it? Put it up high and hope for the best with Mantellato.
Yeah, particularly the last few sets. And as you mentioned, they're now down to basically one half with Getty, who was named in the number 9 shirt. Cole Wilkie, who came in and filled that position in the back end of this half. Yeah, but unfortunately, Mantellato steamed through, just couldn't get a grab on that.
Here's Chamberlain now.
Up we go! Come on!
Getty in there with the tackle.
Wait! Go 1.
Anthony Mullally. He's back off the bench.
Away from there! Hold! Wait. Go 2.
Very interesting to see how Ireland shape up against Papua New Guinea. Obviously a different atmosphere.
Back here.
But a lot of match-hardened, battle-hardened players in this Irish side. Not sure we got a great indication of PNG's pedigree.
Off the body now!
After their thumping win over Wales, who were
Go 4.
in a mismatch there. McCarthy there, Tyrone McCarthy over the 40-metre line. He's lost the ball. Now this is a rarity, a rare error from Ireland. He's rucking it out. It is their 8th error for this match, but pretty dependable at this sort of stuff. Geez, I'll tell you what, the referees and the touchies must have 20/20 vision. How they've found that is well done to them. Look at that completion rate, 25 from 29. Textbook stuff from the Wolfhounds. Tedesco.
Most NRL teams have a goal of having it over 80%. With it, on this occasion, the Irish have been at 86% today. In these conditions, that's a fantastic result. And that doesn't tell the true story as well. They've worked really hard defensively.
Well, here's Tedesco spotting a little opening, putting on the big step. What have the Irish done so well, Andrew Ryan, to contain Tedesco this afternoon?
We saw early in the first half, they came up and in and really shut down any plays to Tedesco. Really good decision-making on their edge. And their big middles have continued to work hard because Tedesco does like to push the envelope through the middle of the park as well. But they continue to turn up for each other today, this Irish side.
So on the 30-metre line with Getty. He's supposed to play hooker this afternoon. Vaughan. Hassan down low. Raft of defenders up top. Vinicello down the short side. Getty. Oh, right, a heavy cut.
Let go! Come on! Yeah, boys.
Shannon McDonald putting his body on the line there.
5.
So on the last play, Tramontana's going to have a crack. That's not a bad kick, but Finn has dropped back. And now gives a don't argue to the young Canterbury player. And Finn's away. He got rid of Tedesco over the 40. Finally, they swarm in. And this just continues this sublime match from the Irish halfback. Mullally down the middle. They're full of beans. They're full of running, the Irish. And they got one more in them here before this game is closed down. Liam Kay's going to run out of dummy half.
Paul straight off. Come on. Hold.
For and against so important as well. Particularly in these groups, Group C and Group D, where it is possible for teams to finish level.
Go 4.
As Rungy does well to pluck it out. Oh, and then he takes off. Then he lost it. Alvaro with the tackle.
Come on, mate.
And the chance is snuffed out.
Well, Dan, they were really patient, the Irish side, in the first 20-25 minutes. So came off the back of scoring those opening tries. Now they're obviously looking to try and put some more points on the scoreboard, as you mentioned. So crucial later on as we see a nice offload from Brendan Santee.
And he almost sent Castellaro into a hole. And now rolling here. It's dart from Malone.
Come on. Away.
And they're 30 metres out here with Jaden Walker going to Getty. Almost out of ideas. Back to Minicello. Oh, hang on, we've got a problem.
Mark Minicello.
We've got a problem here.
James.
The Irish were concerned immediately.
Fifth and last. You right, Mark?
He wants to continue.
That's me spinning. It's gone now. Time's off, Scott. You right, Mark? That's your last, Italy.
He might have got out of that, Andrew Ryan. That could have been an absolute disaster.
He certainly got twisted awkwardly, didn't he? He's on his feet now, which is a positive. Looking to play the ball, but he doesn't look in great shape.
Last tackle, go.
35 years old, last tackle.
Let it go, let it go,
We go again, and that's going to beat them all over the line, over the touch line. So
here we are.
Ireland in cruise control now. And Italy not only will have to contend with having to beat Fiji in a couple of weeks if they are to progress, it does appear as though they're going to have to do it by some margin. The rest of these games go according to plan. Italy take on USA next week in Townsville. The pressure will be on. Not only do they have to win, but they're going to have to put on a score. And you know full well, Andrew, when you've got that mindset of having to rack up points, it sometimes takes the focus off actually doing the simple things right.
Yeah, you're spot on. And look, even there's been quite an injury toll here for this Italian side today, on top of Terry Campese, who was unavailable. So they'll be licking some wounds here this afternoon. But this Irish side, they continue to do the business. It's been a polished performance from them here today.
Do we expect Campese to be back next week?
Yeah, look, he'd obviously be hopeful. It was a calf injury, but you'll never be too certain with those types of injuries. But he'd certainly come in handy for this team.
And Finn there does well, doesn't panic. And last play here for the Irish. Finn. And yes, we've seen that many times today.
Thanks, Liam. Release scrum. And what?
He certainly controlled the game so well today. Liam Finn is their predominant kicker. He's their go-to man. And it all started in the first couple of minutes of the game with that combination, Liam Finn and Scott Griggs, the fullback, out the back on that left edge. And it really set the tone for this game here this afternoon.
So with Ireland to play PNG next week, we'll go through the for and against ramifications there. It is the first weekend of the tournament. They're not that important at this stage. Down to you, Ryan Girdler.
Yeah, well, it's been a real clinic for those sides playing in these hot conditions. Obviously, the games in Townsville, a few games in PNG over the next few weekends. And it just tells the sides that if they compete high, they're a little bit more cautious with the football. We probably haven't seen a lot of that in the opening round of the World Cup, but they've certainly done it well today, Ireland, and they've showed teams how to play in these sort of conditions.
We saw that a lot with the North Queensland Cowboys in the NRL finals, didn't we? Just make sure you complete your sets and the rest will take care of itself. There's Paul Vaughan now, heading it up. Has he been hurt in the tackle? He appears to be okay. Not happy with the tackle. 110 metres for Vaughan, easily the most among the Italian forwards. Brown. The offloads just haven't been there today.
Go four.
Montana.
Stand up.
So pass on to Walker.
Go. Okay, nothing late.
And now here's the kick. And that's way over the back.
Thanks, mate.
So I think these two sides, Andrew Ryan, are quite happy for this game to come to a close. We have 4 minutes and 15 seconds left, and the Irish side are going to post a thumping win here in Cairns.
Yeah, they've been really impressive today, Dan. And one of the most pleasing things I would assume for the coaching staff is that their line speed is still good, their contact's still good, their talk is good. They've got all those indicators, all the little 1%ers that teams look for week in, week out. It's been a really good performance here this afternoon.
Here's
Brendan,
McDonald.
give him room. Let's lock in.
Brendan Santi there involved in the tackle. Liam Kay, he does this well. Picks up and runs out of dummy half.
Give him space.
2 tries for him.
Wait here, boys.
He's facing the wrong way.
Go 2.
George King. An early try for him.
Together now.
The man from Warrington put to ground.
Go 3.
James Hassan.
4.
He's also a teammate of Finn and Griggs out at Wakefield, and now here's a nice starting run from Tyrone McCarthy.
5.
So final play. They shifted right. Philbin away now to the fullback Griggs. That's a nice kick, but Tedesco does well to cut it off. And it just stays in the field of play.
Go 1.
He's really showed his class this afternoon, Scott Griggs, on both sides of the field. His kicking game, just to chime in at the right time. He actually had an option to look to pass. He had a couple of numbers out on his right edge there, but decided to go put it on the foot. And Tedesco, great positioning on this occasion.
Oh, here's Ryan Getty spotting an opening. Now we've got to pass on to Saruta, who might have been taken before he had the ball. Yes, that's how the ref sees it there. Tyrone McCarthy with the jumper grab. Mason Saruto caught out a couple of times, but some very nice things he did as well this afternoon.
He's pulled out some big defensive plays, but as you mentioned, in the early stage of this game, Liam Kay down that left wing, his speed. And
oh, the kick hasn't found touch. So they tried to give it the lot there, and it was a 50-metre kick, but it was batted back in.
Surrender tackle.
Well, it certainly hasn't been their day today, the Italians. There's been injuries. There's been some poor options, but it'll take nothing away from this Irish side. They have been excellent.
Go 2.
And now James Hassan steaming upfield.
Brendan, off him now.
Parramatta and Manly fans certainly know about Hassan, particularly Sea Eagles supporters. Kay. Into the final 90 seconds here at Barlow Park. Griggs, Philbin, turns his back on the defence and gets it on. Griggs, Finn, McCarthy, Scarsbrook. He's been wonderful, and he's going to put an exclamation mark on this game. He has run a roughshod over some of these Italian players. He kicks it onto the track as well. Oh, it's Ireland's afternoon, and that should see us out. What a thumping win this has been.
Well, he's been excellent over here. He's made a couple of clean breaks this afternoon on the left edge. He's happy with that one.
So Louis, McCarthy, Scarsbrook, another one of these veterans. They're chock full of veterans, the Irish team. 12 years in the Super League. The last 7 at St Helens, grand final winner. And he's a Millwall fan, apparently. So Liam Finn will have this kick at goal to finish it off. As we look at another replay, Tedesco and Castellaro couldn't come up with the tackle there. 36 points to 12. This is the first upset of the tournament. And what an upset it's been. And there's the kiss to camera. Did you ever blow a kiss in front of the camera, Andrew Ryan? Oh, hang on, you jumped on a bobcat or something, didn't you?
Oh, look, we don't need to get bogged down in that, but no kissing the camera for me, Dan.
You nearly decapitate yourself trying to jump into something at the southern end of ANZ Stadium?
Yes, I sure did.
So Liam Finn, can he finish with a perfect record? Oh, look at it. No, it goes across the face. It looked good from this angle. But it's all Ireland. The Wolfhounds have made a statement this afternoon. Kyler Moore, he scored. So did McCarthy Scarsbrook. And Ireland are on their way. 36 to 12, Ireland over Italy.